Lasher, you will be the first on this next question, and that is, what are the greatest barriers to effective court access by people without financial assets, and what steps could the court take to improve them?
I think up here, because of the area that we live in, I think that one thing that is very unique with people who have financial issues is a lack of transportation. We see that over and over and over again in my court. I saw that back when I was a prosecutor, that some people just don't have the means to get to court, to check in with probation, to get to, say, counseling or Alcoholics Anonymous, all of the things that are components of their probation. And we just don't really have public transportation up here. And so I think that actually that may be one, if there's a silver lining, but one thing that actually came out of the pandemic this year was how much technology that we had to use, such as Zoom, to allow people to perhaps have a court hearing from home or check in to probation from home if they are someone who isn't having a lot of issues on their probation. And so those are some of the ways that I think that we are addressing that issue. Our probation department also has a list of services of people who are nonprofit agencies in the area that offer transportation. And so those are things that we utilize here to help people with that. Going back to Zoom for a moment, AA meetings are held by Zoom. Some of the substance abuse groups are held by Zoom. And so I think all of those things have really helped with people who may not have the transportation to get to not only court, but all the services that they need.
Thank you very much. Mr. Banner, same question.
Thank you. Well, I would agree with Judge Lasher that transportation is a barrier given the landscape and geography of our communities. I think public transportation is much more available in Charlevoix County than it is in Emmett County, but it certainly creates a problem. And it's a practical problem for folks having to travel. A lot of people have to travel a long distance just to get to our courts in both counties. I think another practical barrier can be filing fees in civil cases. There may be ways to assist people to avoid having to pay filing fees, motion fees, and other things. Those are barriers that I find present problems for people in civil court. And again, I agree that the advent of remote hearings has created opportunities for people to participate from home. It avoids transportation issues. It can reduce significantly the amount of time that a person has to be away from work, reduce the need possibly to have children placed in care, just very basic things. And again, I think another thing that could help the situation would be the advent of electronic filing, which might make the ability to file papers with court much more convenient for people rather than having to appear at a clerk's office, a district court clerk or a county clerk. Thank you.
Okay. So the next question will start with Mr. Banner. As a district court judge, you will see many litigants